Hi, this is Tony, and we're back on the bench. And this evening, I wanted to do a quick little video here and talk about drag stacks and what would deem as a good conditioned drag stack and a poorly conditioned drag stack. So here we're looking at two different stacks that came off of two separate spools here. They happen to be Abu Garcia spools, and they're both the same size, just one is plastic and one is metal. And this one also has a bearing on the bottom, whereas this one doesn't. Okay, but you can see, the stacks that have come out of this here, out of both of these spools. So up here, this one, metal washers are nice and clean, and down here, metal washers are very, very rusted actually, and in pretty bad shape. This one's not in too bad a shape, and that one, but this keyed washer here is really in terrible shape. You could just see all that rust damage on there, and that's ultimately what you don't want. And so, there's a couple of different ways of going about it. You can either try to replace that washer, and whether or not you can, depends on the size of the washer and what it came out of, and if that's still available. And the other way of going about it is, spraying it down, with some WD-40, and then taking some 4O steel wool to it and trying to, smooth out the surface, the best you can. Now, you're never going to get rid of this rust per se, but you can definitely smooth it out, okay, to a point where it's a lot more usable at least. So, this is a common problem that happens, and one of the main reasons why this happens is because drags are tensioned and left tight, when the reel's not being used anymore. So when you crank down on your top cap here, I'll use this one here that came off of this spool. When this is really tight, when you have it tight when you're fishing, and then you don't loosen it up, what happens is the water and salt and different things get in to this stack, and it compresses the stack, and then it builds up this rust and this condensation and stuff like that in these metal washers. And that's a very, very common problem. So the tip here is to make sure that you undo that drag stack when you're done using the reel and you're putting it away. All right, and then also just service your drags. Okay, take them out like you see here and clean them. Okay, and in some cases they require lube. These particular drag washers don't. They're kind of like of a rubber-like material, but there's Carbon-Tex fiber washers that you can typically grease, or felt-style washers that you could put a little film of oil on those. Okay, so I hope that those tips are helpful. And if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification button. And that way you will get all the updates as to when I have new videos coming out. And this is Tony with Back on the Bench. We'll be seeing you next time.